iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to playoff race number 3 for the American Sim Racing Club. Tonight we're at the Bristol Dirt to see who will come away with the victory. I am Brett the Jet in the booth here for Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, like I said, playoff race number 3. This will be the runner-up to the season finale, so a lot on the line here for these guys slinging some dirt. We'll have to see who comes away with the win. As last time on the dirt track, we saw Devin McDonald get the job done. So we'll see if he can pick up another win when it's all said and done. As we're looking at the 51 machine of Ron Hart out here on track, we'll see what he can do in qualifying as he crosses the start-finish line for his first time lap. And it looks like Ron Hart will go maybe, let's see if Ron Hart will go P number 5. Josiah Millen up to P number 2 with a 19.99. Hayden Swank now up to P number 6. So we'll look at some more drivers out there on the speedway. Right now looking at Lee Campbell in the 27 machine. Lee Campbell, one of the drivers out there in the playoffs. As we see that 27 machine come off at turn number 4. Lee Campbell, lap number 1, put him P number 9. Lap number 2, not any quicker, so he will stay P number 9 at the moment. Jason Racing Griffith out there on the speedway in that 33 Buc-ee's machine. We'll see what he can do on his second time lap. Lap number 1 put him P number 9. We'll see if he can improve that here for lap number 2. As he does not, he will stay P number 9 when it's all said and done. As we look at the timing scoring on the left of our screen, Dave Payton currently with the quick time in that 38 machine. Dave Payton looking pretty sporty here as he did close in on that points lead for this championship before it's all said and done. As this will probably wrap up qualifying. We have 11 cars taking a lap time. Of course, 9 of the 10 playoff drivers. We have Nate Henry, who had to miss the playoffs this season, so a bummer from him. But as you can see, playoff drivers spread throughout the timing and standing, being split up by Tim Rogers, Ron Hart, and Jason Griffith, as we have one car rolling out on the speedway, that being Donald Bennett in the 31 machine, getting that thing out there and looking to get a qualifying time for that 31 machine. As with Donald Bennett, probably assuming he takes a lap, we'll have all but one cars take a qualifying lap. Tonight also dirt format, so what that means, we'll get some heat races, some drivers will go for some bonus points as well to try and help their playoff run. So we'll have to see how that shakes on out. But Donald Bennett in the 31 singular wireless machine on lap number 1. As you see him get big time sideways coming off of turn number 2. We'll see if he can get a little bit better of a run through 3 and 4. As that looks a little bit straighter. Donald Bennett for lap number 1 will go P12. We'll see if he can increase that lap time for lap number 2, excuse me. As Donald Bennett 3 and 4 for the final time. He will get a big piece of the wall after the start finish line, but does not improve his lap time, so he will start P number 12 as we wrap up qualifying here. Dave Payne in the 38 machine picks up the quick time award. That will help him for his playoff endeavors, as Josiah Millen qualifies P2, Tanner Tallarico P3, Tim Rogers P4, and Devin McDonald P number 5 as we get ready for heat race number 1 here, as we get drivers down on pit road. Dave Payne will lead us to green when it's all said and done, as we run over tonight's heat race number 1. Dave Payne in the 38 machine will start on the pole. Tanner Tallarico in the 1 starts P number 2. Third is Devin McDonald in the 18 machine. Hayden Swank in the 35 in 4th. 5th is racing Jason Griffith. 6th goes to John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce. And rounding out heat race number 1 is John Sanu in the 86 machine. As we get ready to go racing here, Dave Payne in that Pinkerton machine. Pretty good lap time. We'll see if he can keep that car out in front, as he needs to keep Tanner Tallarico behind him to get as many playoff points as he can, as we're already very deep into the playoffs after Talladega and Watkins Glen. As this time by, we'll see the lights go out on the iRacing pace truck. We will go green next time by. As we get ready to go green flag racing here in heat race number 1, we'll wait for Dave Payne to jump on the loud pedal. He does that. We are green flag racing as Dave Payne big time sideways. Devin McDonald contact, and he goes around on the front stretch. That will bring out a very quick yellow, as everyone struggled for traction on that start. We'll take a look at the replay, see what happened, as you see all the cars all out of sorts, and Devin McDonald trying to save that thing. Tanner Tallarico makes a little bit of contact, so you got to wonder how damaged those cars are for an incident right at the start. But wow, that shows you how tough these things are to especially put down the power. I think they'll try a different strategy on this next restart, as that was not pretty for anyone in that field, as that was definitely very tough of a restart. I think everyone was trying to figure out how to restart and learned a few things what not to do there, as we're under our first caution very quickly here for heat race number 1. As I'm hearing a little bit of radio chatter from some of those drivers up front and just saying a ton of wheel spin there trying to put down the power. So if I'm a driver out there, I may be starting in 4th gear and try and limit as much wheel spin as I can, because like we see there with cars getting so sideways, you know, you break traction, then it almost bites with some wheel in it, and that could send the car left or right very quickly and very abruptly. So these drivers probably keeping that as mind. As we are under our first caution for heat race number 1. We got another heat race after this, and then during the warm-up, folks, we'll be talking to the heat race winners, see how they're feeling, see how their cars are, and what the expectations is for the big dance coming up here in a short amount of time. As the lights go off on the iRacing pace truck, we'll double file up this field and get ready to go back to green flag racing action. As Dave Payne will once again lead us to green flag racing action. Tanner Tallarico in 2nd, now Hayden Swank into 3rd. Jason Griffith 4th, and John DeMeester in 5th. As iRacing pace car heads down pit road, Dave Payne jumps on the loud pedal here. A little bit better start from the front guys as they keep it a lot straighter as everyone throws it into turn number 1. We got a battle for 2nd on hand. Tanner Tallarico under fire from Hayden Swank, but now Hayden Swank under fire from the 33 machine up top. These guys going door to door for P number 3. You can already see in the back Devin McDonald back up into the 5th position and trying to catch those cars in front of him. As up front, Dave Payne has a healthy lead over Tanner Tallarico, right around half a second or so. So Dave Payne doing what he needs to do to try and help out his playoff run. As Jason Griffith is reeling in the back bumper of Tanner Tallarico for the 2nd spot, so we might have a battle on our hand. As this time by, we'll see 4 laps to go for these drivers out on the speedway. That 33 machine right on the back bumper now of Tanner Tallarico. Jason Griffith, a little bit of contact into that outside wall. That will slow down that car just a little bit, open up the door a little for Hayden Swank. So now Griffith needs to regain his concentration and probably have one more attack left on Tanner Tallarico before the end of the race. Also last time by, Devin McDonald, fastest car on the speedway, so the AT machine up way on the top is finding some speed up there. As this time by, popsicle sticks for heat race number 1. Dave Payne up front continues to lead the way over the field. Tanner Tallarico in 2nd, under pressure from Jason Griffith, and Devin McDonald trying to get around Hayden Swank as they hit doors down the backstretch. Devin McDonald with the slide job, but doesn't slide up at all. So Devin McDonald up into P number 4. Hayden Swank gives him a shot down the front stretch, but looks like he'll have that position. As down the backstretch the field goes, being led by Dave Payne. Looks like Tanner Tallarico will be able to hang on to P number 2, but Dave Payne off of turn number 4 will pick up heat win number 1. Tanner Tallarico in 2nd. Jason Griffith third, Devin McDonald fourth, Hayden Swank fifth, John Tanu sixth, and John DeMeester in the 7th position. As that was heat race number 1, Dave Payne being able to pick up that win. Now we'll go over to heat race number 2 and see what kind of action can unfold here. For heat race number 2, Josiah Millen will start on pole in the 40 machine. To his outside is Tim Rogers in the 48 machine. Third will be Brian Wilderson in the 951 machine. Fourth goes to Ron Hart in the 51. Fifth is Lee Campbell in the 27 machine. And rounding out heat race number 2 in the 6th position is Donald Bennett. As these drivers get ready to do battle for heat number 2, this will set the lineup for the outside row for the big dance, as Josiah Millen trying to gain some points. I believe he's second in points. I have to double check my notes here once we get done with this heat race, but Josiah Millen looking for some big time points in heat race number 2. As this time by is the wave lap, folks. We'll get the signal to 1-2 green for heat race number 2 for the American Sim Racing Club Sportsman Series here at Dirt Bristol. This is, of course, playoff race number 3. So a lot going into this thing. Don't forget, folks, next week we will see the season finale. We'll see the drivers all do battle at the Irwindale Speedway to crown a champion for the Sportsman Series, the first champion for these ARCA cars. And I heard a rumor that the ARCA cars will be back for next season for this series. So as the iRacing pace truck heads down pit road, we wait on Josiah Millen. He jumps on the loud pedal here, trying to put down that power. Looks like Tim Rogers puts down the power a little bit better. So they go side by side into turn number 1. Tim Rogers with a little bit of advantage on that top side. He will take over the race lead, as Josiah Millen maybe we'll try and shut the door on Ron Hart for second, and he'll do that. So maybe a little bit of an advantage to restart on that top side as Brian Wilderson tries to work over that 51 machine of Ron Hart. As we got the battle for third on the speedway here. Last time by Tim Rogers, fastest lap. So that 48 machine can seem to be very fast. Josiah Millen, a little bit of contact to the outside wall down the backstretch. He was right there on top of him as the battle for third continues to heat back up. These guys going side by side now. Brian Wilderson down low, Ron Hart to the top side. As Brian Wilderson tries to figure out something for a pass. If Brian Wilderson can figure out something in this heat race, that will be a big time advantage by the time they get to the feature event. And this time by down the backstretch. Next time by at the start finish line, we will see 4 laps to go as Brian Wilderson into the wall here. He tries to get that thing off, and he does, so that will probably let Ron Hart get on away. But up front, it's been Tim Rogers in that Mobile 148 machine. He is holding off our pole sitter for heat race number 2, Josiah Millen. And this time by Tim Rogers, we'll see popsicle sticks up in the air for heat race number 2. He has 2 more times around this circuit. As so far, no yellow flag in heat race number 2. We'll see if we can go flag to flag here as Josiah Millen a little bit loose off of turn number 2. That'll give Tim Rogers a little bit more of some breathing room. As this time by the 48, we'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for heat race number 2. And Brian Wilderson has reeled back in Ron Hart. He has figured out some speed in that 951 machine. They'll have a chance one more time here in 3 and 4. We'll see if Brian Wilson will make an aggressive move. But up front, Tim Rogers picks up heat win number 2 as coming off of turn number 4. Brian Wilson tries, but not quite enough to pick up heat number 3, or P number 3, excuse me. As we will go over to warm up, we'll be right back on the other side. We're going to go to commercial break. After that, we'll talk to Dave Payton and Tim Rogers. We are back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be dialing up our third place finisher. So used to the post-race interviews that I'm getting all out of sorts. We'll be dialing up our Heat 1 winner, that being Dave Payton in the 38 machine. Dave, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett.
Alrighty, Dave. Glad you got a copy. How was that 38 machine? And you put that thing on the pole, so that thing's got to feel pretty sporty here at Dirt Bristol.
Yeah, after the failed first attempt at that race started, it felt good. I just, I can't be over eager on the throttle. It's very, very, very sensitive. But, yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, Dave. And we got to ask, coming into tonight, you are second in the playoffs. What's kind of the game plan for this 38 crew with Tanner Tallarico? I think about 7 points in front of you.
Yeah, so the plan was, I really don't have much of a chance to beat Tanner heads up. Like, he's going to beat me. He's just better. So tonight the plan was to try and gain as many points on him as I could. This is kind of the only wild card where I think I might have a fair chance of beating him, being a dirt track and all. So I want to gain as many points as I can going in the next week. Even if I'm a point or two in the lead, that'd be awesome. And then I think that's my only hope. So far everything's going exactly how I want to grab as many bonus points as I can.
Alrighty, Dave, we are back. Sorry, I have a little bit of technical difficulties on my end. But before I let you go, Dave, anyone you got to give a shout out to, thank you to, before we start this big dance here for the 38 crew?
Nope, tonight's all me. I'm going to rock it.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Dave. Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you on the other side.
Yeah, see you, Brett.
Alrighty, Tim Rogers, you got a copy. A little bit of technical difficulties on my end, but finally getting to talk to you. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm here. I just got back from the head. Yeah, I'm doing great tonight. It's good to be back in the Sportsman series here.
Yeah, Tim, glad to have you on out here once again. I gotta say, that's a great looking paint scheme out here, that Mobile One scheme, Tim. And how is this great looking car driving at Dirt Bristol?
Well, so far it's handling like a dream. Track wasn't that worn in there for the heats. We didn't have a lot of rubber laid down, so it was handling pretty good. It might get a little tricky here as more rubber gets laid down on the track because the RPM's so high, but I think we can get through it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Tim. It's going to be a little bit searching for traction, but before we let you go, maybe what's the game plan here for the 48 machine for this main event?
Get a good restart, get out front, and survive.
Yep, always a good plan, Tim. You get to start on the outside, which should be an advantage to you. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, give a shout out to before we let you loose.
I just want to thank Mobile One for coming on, sponsoring this race team. We've been looking for a sponsor the past couple of months and finally got one. We're able to run again. So thanks for Mobile One for helping us out.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Tim. Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll talk to you on the other side.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Alrighty, folks, that was Tim Rogers, heat race number 2 winner, as we'll now get ready to go to green flag race in action. We'll run through tonight's starting grid for the main event. Dave Payne in the 38 machine will lead us to green. Tim Rogers in the 48 will start outside pole. Third will be Tanner Tallarico in the 1. Fourth is Josiah Millen in the 40. Fifth is racing Jason Griffith in the 33 machine. Sixth is Ron the Hitman Hart. Seventh is Devin McDonald in the 18 machine. Eighth goes to Brian Wilderson in the 951. Ninth is Hayden Swank in the 35. 10th is Lee Campbell in the 27. 11th is John Sanu in the 86 machine. 12th is Donald Bennett rounding out the field. And we got John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce rounding out the field in 13th. As that will do it for the starting order. This is the wave lap, folks. Get on up, wave your hat, wave your kids, wave your hands, because these drivers ready to do battle for 35 laps. This is playoff race number 3. As a little bit of a race order kerfuffle, as Tanner Tallarico was the shotgun driver for this race, so he'll have to start at the back, the tail end of the line, because he did win last week at Watkins Glen. So we'll see what Tanner Tallarico can do in that one machine when it's all said and done. As we get ready here, I believe, to go to green flag race in action, as we'll be led to green by the 38 machine of Dave Payne. We'll see what kind of restart Tim Rogers can get on that top side, being in that preferred line. As iRacing truck is down pit road, we jump on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing here at Dirt Bristol. Dave Payne gets away with a good start. Will slide on up in front of Tim Rogers for the race lead, as behind him everyone trying to sort themselves out. One car out of sorts. That's 18 machine of Devin McDonald. He gets that thing under control, but loses a spot because of it, as he tries to make that inside work, as he has cars on a big line up to that top side in front of him. As we'll see some different lines try to be had here tonight, as we see Tanner Tallarico already up into the 8th position. He's ripping the lip up there and making it work. So Tanner Tallarico, a man on a mission, already up into 8th place, as he now makes it 3 wide here in 1 and 2, trying to go all the way down to the bottom inside of Brian Wilderson, who is right on the back bumper of Devin McDonald, who is also on the back bumper of Jason Griffith. So these guys, you could throw a blanket under them. These guys from 4th, and contact between Ron Hart and Devin McDonald. Ron Hart up the track, gets a piece of Brian Wilderson, but somehow they stay green flag here, as no one really fully wrecked, as now Tanner Tallarico tries to go around Devin McDonald. A little bit of contact into turn number 3, but they stay straight for the most part, but they'll come off the corner side by side for 5th on the speedway as Tanner Tallarico tries to make that high side work, gets a piece of the wall. One car behind him, Hayden Swank a little bit into the wall. Same with John Sanu, who now enters this battle there in 9th place. So with all this craziness, Dave Payne continues to lead the way up front over Tim Rogers and Josiah Millen in 3rd. So up front, kind of chilling on out, you know, nothing too crazy. But further on back, a lot of craziness to be had here. Tanner Tallarico still under fire from Devin McDonald, but back here we got a 4-car battle between Ron Hart, John Sanu, Hayden Swank, and Brian Wilderson. As we see drivers right up on the cushion trying to find as much traction as they can, as 3 wide once again here in 3 and 4. You saw Hayden Swank give a shot to the back bumper of that 86 machine. Now John Sanu losing that momentum down on the low side, so he'll probably jump back up to the top side. As we have 1 car in the wall somewhere around the speedway, but everyone hanging on to it for the most part, as the laps quickly clicking on by when it's all said and done. As for Dave Payne going down the backstretch, I believe maybe it's Josiah Millen that got the wall that time, but Dave Payne this time by. We'll see lap 10 of 35, so these guys flying through this race here. Dave Payne doing what he needs to do out there in front. Tim Rogers way on the top side, trying a different line than our race leader. So as we look here, Devin McDonald, Tanner Tallarico, contact off of turn number 2. Tanner Tallarico into the wall in 3 and 4 here. This is the battle for 5th on the speedway as we now hit 25 laps to go. As these guys still duking it on out. Devin McDonald really trying to make that inside line work. Tanner Tallarico keeping that momentum up top as well. As further on back, Ron Hart, Hayden Swank, and Brian Wilderson all duking it out as well down the front stretch here. And it seems like these guys are having fun slinging some mud here tonight, as so far no yellow flags in the feature event. I know I'm going to jinx it because now there'll probably be a yellow flag here pretty soon, as now the battle for 4th on back, as there's the yellow, as I just called it, between the 18 machine and the 1. We'll bring it on out. We saw that battle very intense as they were just catching the back bumper of Race and Jason Griffith, as these guys duking it on out, but off of turn number 2 we'll see them get into each other, and then we'll have to see who ends up claiming it. I believe the 18 of Devin McDonald did claim that yellow, as Tanner Tallarico involved in this one. Devin trying to make that work, trying to get as much of a run as he could, but just a little bit too much. So we'll have to see if any drivers do come in, try and get some damage repair, as there are very few cars that are clean out there on the speedway. I believe our top 2 are. I think Josiah Millen has a little bit of damage on that right side, but everyone else does have some damage on the right side of their race cars. As we have a few cars down pit road, one being Brian Wilderson in the 951 machine, the other being Devin McDonald, who was involved in that wreck. That car looks pretty heavily damaged, folks, so I don't know if we'll have Devin McDonald back out on the speedway to defend his dirt win earlier in the season. Also for the playoffs, Tanner Tallarico leads the way with a 7-point advantage over Dave Payne, who then has a 5-point advantage over Devin McDonald, who's also tied with Josiah Millen. So both Devin and Josiah 5 points back behind Dave Payne, are 12 points back behind Tanner Tallarico. So this could be a big night for Josiah Millen and Dave Payne to come into the final race with a shot, as Tanner Tallarico finds himself all the way back in the 11th position here on this restart. As the lights are out on the iRacing pace truck, we double file them on up, and we're ready to go back to green flag racing action here at Bristol Dirt. As once again, Dave Payne in the 38 machine will lead us to green. Tim Rogers on the top side. Dave Payne going to have to get another great restart as he's in the slick stuff. As he jumps on the loud pedal, gets away pretty good. Let's see if he slides on up in front of Tim Rogers as he's stuck there on the low side. Gets through the corner a little bit better, able to clear Tim Rogers as Josiah Millen will slide into third. We look a little bit further back here at this battle for fourth on back as Ron Hart tries to get around Jason Griffith. A little bit of contact down the front stretch, but Jason Griffith able to hang on. Now Hayden Swink will try and enter in the mix as Josiah Millen big time sideways in front of him. This could open up the door for maybe even third. Talk with me on the podium when it's all said and done as Hayden Swink drives the crossover. A little bit of contact to Ron Hart as a little bit further back Tanner Tallarico making his way up through this field, bringing flying Brian Wilderson as well as Tanner Tallarico tries to make the move on John Sanu here with 20 laps to go. Tanner Tallarico trying to work that inside here now. We'll see if he tries a slide job as, man, that top side can send such big momentum as John Sanu gets a piece of that wall all through 1 and 2. So we'll have to take maybe a look at that as that was some big time contact. But looking up a little bit further, Ron Hart keeping the pressure on the 33 machine. The 51 now jumps to the inside. 33 up top and slide job shuts the door. Somehow Jason Griffith does a wheelie with that contact, but that puts him on back. A little bit more contact between Tanner Tallarico. Tanner with the bumper to John Sanu as well. So, man, that was a wild slide job by Ron Hart, and somehow Griffith very probably damaged that race car with a wheelie somehow here at Bristol Dirt. But Tanner Tallarico back up into the 6th position here now that he got around John Sanu. Now Brian Wilderson will try and get around a few of these cars. As up front, Tim Rogers has ran down Dave Payne. We'll look to the inside. Maybe a crossover slide job. That will be the case. Tim Rogers will try it as 15 to go. We got a side-by-side battle for the race lead. Now Dave Payne will send one back, so he'll slide up in front of the 48 machine as Tim Rogers will try and give one back. So slide job city up for the race lead here inside of 15 laps to go here at Dirt Bristol. Tim Rogers now with a little bit of an advantage. Dave Payne's going to have to try a big slide job if he wants to make it work. Not quite clear, so Dave Payne will have to check on up, and this could give the race lead over to Tim Rogers as Dave Payne will try it again. Not quite slide fully on up. He does actually. Tim Rogers will cut that 48 machine down low. They go door to door down the front stretch, and now Dave Payne up top. Tim Rogers sliding up in front of him. So Dave Payne will return the favor here in 3 and 4 as he's down to the inside. Tim Rogers up top. And I assume these guys will keep on trading slide jobs till the end of the night, or else till a driver makes a mistake. Luckily, they have a big advantage over third place of Josiah Millen, so they can afford to slide job each other all night long till the end of the race. But we'll have to see if there is that infamous caution flag, as Tim Rogers will go low pretty consistently in 1 and 2. Dave Payne will go low in 3 and 4. We'll have to see when the cycle breaks, and it does with this yellow flag I believe Hayden Swank is around on the speedway trying to get that thing up to speed. And that race lead, that battle for the race lead was very intense. That was keeping me satisfied up in the booth. Hopefully you guys as home, as we take a look to see what brought out our second yellow of the night. Looks like Hayden Swank got in there a little bit too hot in the slick stuff. That will be enough to send that 35 machine around on the speedway. Doing a great job of keeping it out of the way for his fellow competitors. And the fellow competitors doing a great job at missing him on the speedway. So this will be the second yellow flag here with 10 laps to go. So we're going to have a 10-lap shootout when it's all said and done. Looks like Dave Payne did edge out Tim Rogers at the start-finish line. So he will have control of the restart. But, of course, start in that inside lane. So we will have to see how this shakes on out. As for this restart, I say we mix it up a little bit. We'll do some turn 3, turn it up when we go green. Get some racing action with these cars up close and personal. And hear the sights and sounds of these cars on Dirt Bristol. As this restart going to be really critical for Dave Payne. Still looking for his first ASRC win. Tim Rogers, a few ASRC Sportsman wins under his belt, so he's looking to add a couple more in this part-time season. Josiah Millen looking for a win as well in that 40 machine, his first win for this series, and try and help him in his playoff hunt. As I believe this time by the light should be extinguished on the iRacing pace truck, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing action. As no, we'll stay out there. We will see 2 laps to green, as we got a lot of pacing to be had here at Dirt Bristol. So the following restart will look like the following. Dave Payne will lead us to green. Outside of him in the front row will be Tim Rogers in that 48 machine. Inside row number 2 will be Josiah Millen with Ron Hart outside row number 2. Row number 3 will be Tanner Talarico in the 1 with Brian Wilderson in the 951 outside row number 3. As this time by, folks, we should see the 1 to go. We'll see the lights on the iRacing pace truck get extinguished, and we'll get ready to go back to Dirt Bristol Racing. As we'll see inside of 10 laps to go. It's about to get wild here, folks, as we get ready to wrap up race number 3 for the ASRC Sportsman Series playoffs. As we'll throw it to some turn 3, turn it up for this restart, and we'll let the cars do the talking as iRacing pace truck gets ready to head down pit road. I'm going to take a break. We come back here with 7 laps to go. Dave Payne continues to lead the way over Tim Rogers and Ron Hart. Tim Rogers figuring out that inside line. He has challenged now up into the race lead as Dave Payne very high. They go 3 wide battling for the race lead off of turn number 4. Dave Payne all the way top. Ron Hart in the middle. Tim Rogers down low as they continue to go side-by-side battling for the race lead. Ron Hart will try the slide job on Dave Payne. Dave Payne will cross him on over and probably give him the slider right back here in 3 and 4. That he does as the 38 machine will slide on up. Ron Hart with a big run. Also, Brian Wilderson, where did he come from? He's entering up into this battle here with 5 laps to go. We get the open palm from the flagman. We have 5 more circuits around this race. Also, Tanner Tallarico up into this battle as well. But we see the battle for second right here. Tim Rogers trying to make the move on Ron Hart. This is what Dave Payne wants to see here. When he's out there in front, he wants these guys slide job big time behind him so he can try and get away, get as much of a gap as he can as Brian Wilderson and Tanner Tallarico both into the wall here as Wilderson has caught the back bumper of Ron Hart. He'll try and get on around him. Tanner Tallarico goes to the top side, so 3 wide off of turn number 4 once again. Ron Hart will look all the way down low. Brian Wilderson in the middle almost gets the back bumper of Tim Rogers. In the wall he goes. That will check up Tanner Tallarico, who hits Ron Hart, who will go around down the backstretch. So this will bring out the yellow in our first green-white checkered of the night. That was contact between Ron Hart and Tanner Tallarico, as we'll take a look at the replay here. Brian Wilderson in the wall in front of him. Tanner Tallarico tries to go down low, makes a contact with the back bumper of the 951 machine, and then heavy contact to that right side of Ron Hart. Ron Hart will claim that yellow, so he'll bring that thing down pit road. And this will bring out our 3rd yellow of the night. So we're going to go to commercial break. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side we'll have the finish of this race. It's going to be a wild one as we wrap up race number 3 of the playoffs. As we are back here at Dirt Bristol, Dave Payne continues to lead the way. Tim Rogers in second. Brian Wilderson all the way up into 3rd position. He was down pit road, I think, under the last yellow, so he has fought his way back up into the podium spots. Tanner Tallarico up into 4th. Josiah Millen fell to 5th. He'll try a rebound here on this yellow, as this will be attempt number 1 at a green-white checkered here at Dirt Bristol. We get the 2 to go sign that time by, so we'll have to see how this unfolds. Ron Hart, I don't believe out on the speedway. Looks like, I believe the last car on the lead lap is the 27 machine of Lee Campbell, one of the playoff drivers. Devin McDonald still hanging on out there, trying to get some laps back when it's all said and done from that first yellow. I believe this time by Dave Payne should see the 1 to go. We'll get this field re-racked, restacked, and ready to go back to green flag race in action, as this will be a single file restart as we are inside of 10 laps to go. So Dave Payne will lead the field over Tim Rogers and the rest of the drivers. as we'll have to see what kind of start they can get. Dave Payne can restart wherever he wants on the track, but I have a feeling he'll restart on that top side, try and get as much traction as he can and get that thing wound up as much as he can in these last couple laps to try and hold off the hard challenging Tim Rogers and Brian Woodison as the iRacing Pace Truck heads off of pit road. We jump on the loud pedal. We go back green flag racing action here at Dirt Bristol with a green-white checkered. So we'll see what these drivers can do with popsicle sticks up in the air. As throughout the field, drivers trying to make their moves. Everyone kind of single filing on out. Dave Payne up on the top side, not letting Tim Rogers able to get a big run and cross him on over. This time by, we'll see the white flag. Dave Payne will lead us to the white flag. We'll see if he can get the job done and help out his point situation as Tanner Tallarico will try and make a move. Tim Rogers will get the run in down the backstretch. Dave Payne will have the crossover here. We'll see if that's enough for a run. Tim Rogers gets tagged. There'll be a photo finish to the line. I think Tim Rogers got it. Tanner Tallarico all the way up into third. Brian Wildison fourth. Josiah Millen fifth. But how about that photo finish for the win? He somehow gets the job done. Heck of a job by Tim Rogers. You got to feel heartbroken for Dave Payne, but wow, what a finish as Tim Rogers able to get the job done with a photo finish here at Dirt Bristol. As we'll take a look here at the replay down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, and we'll try and get a camera shot of the start finish line, see how close this finish really was between the 48 and the 38. As off of turn number 4 they come now, we'll see Tim Rogers just edge out Dave Payne, who is struggling for grip. They're battling behind them as well, and about a half a car length, Tim Rogers able to get the job done over Dave Payne, as we now see the 48 machine of Tim Rogers burning it down here in the dirt for the fans here at Bristol Dirt. But a heck of a race by all these drivers. We'll be talking to the top 3 here in 1 second. Don't go anywhere, folks. Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Dirt Bristol, and we'll be trying to talk to our third place finisher, that being Tanner Tallarico in the 1 machine. We'll see what he has to say. Tanner, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you, Brett. What's up?
Alrighty, Tanner, that was a crazy race. A lot of ups and downs for you. It seemed like you're involved in a couple yellows, but at the end of the day, you somehow bring that thing in third place, door banging with Brian Wildison. I mean, how was that race for you?
I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words. That was a wild one. Yeah, it just, dirt's crazy, man. You get out here on dirt and everybody's, I mean, you're not really out of control. It's just like controlled chaos, and I just told myself all night long I was going to try to give room and run in the middle of the track basically all night long, and that went out the window on lap 1. So we were just running and trying not to run into anything or anybody, and we had a couple incidents there where we touched doors, and it's, I mean, when you get these things around sideways and out of shape on dirt, they're so hard to catch up with and save. And I think it was Devin or I got together one time and both got into the wall pretty hard, but I think we were both all right. And then racing there at the end, I think Ron and I got together and both racing. I mean, we were going crazy there at the end, all of us up front, like us top 6 or something. We were all going nuts, and we were all just But I think we all just kind of threw caution to the wind at that point, and Ron and I just slammed doors, and he got around sideways, and it was crazy from there. And I don't even know. There's so much that happened in the last like 10 laps of that thing. I don't even really remember what happened when.
Yeah, Tanner, like you said, a lot of craziness here tonight at Dirt Bristol, but a heck of a race by everyone out here. That was pretty awesome to only have 3 yellows when it's all said and done. But Tanner, looking at the big picture, you came into tonight with a 7-point lead. You lose a few points to Dave Payne, but I think you kept the bleeding to a minimum when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it was. You know, I knew tonight was gonna be rough. I feel like I'm good on dirt. Like I feel like I'm pretty consistent and stuff on dirt. I just have always had crazy things happening and crazy luck. So I kind of knew that might be an issue and approached it knowing that, and just knew that if I could minimize as much as I could behind the wheel and hopefully stay out of as much trouble as possible, everything would be okay. But we're going to Irwindale next week. I enjoy that place. That's another short track, and I know the racing's going to be phenomenal there. That place is super competitive, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good race right down to the wire. Every other, I feel like, series that we've had that races at Irwindale puts on a really good show, and this is the first time we're going to go there in the ARCA cars. So I'm sure it'll be no different. I'm looking forward to it, and I don't get to run there very often, so, and I've always wanted to, but this will be the first time that I actually get to race anything there in our series. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Tanner, that'll be a fun one. We'll crown a champion at the end of that race, so that place, like you said, is a fun track to race at. Should be really fun with these ARCA cars. But before we let you go, celebrate this podium finish here to you tonight. We're going to go hand over the mic to you and see who you got to thank for this one crew.
Yeah, so first and foremost, just a big thank you to all the admins and the members here at ASRC. I know I try to thank them every time I get the opportunity, but big thanks to them. They're ultimately the admins and the members that make this whole gig go round. You, Brett, for doing this every single week in and week out. You do a great job. As far as the car goes, Elif Brothers Roofing, Boardwalk Subs, Accurate Inspections, Mike's Custom Garage, KRW Performance in Chicago. Yeah, just like I say, everybody that makes this whole deal go around, whether you're in the broadcast booth, on the track in a car, up in the admin booth, whatever you got going on, if you're helping out in any way, shape, or form, we do appreciate it. And we'll go on into Irwindale next week and try to have a good time and see how things go, and we'll just keep heads up and keep pushing.
Alrighty, Tanner. Heck of a job by you for that rebound here tonight to bring it home in the 3rd position. You have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you before the season is over.
Thanks, Jet.
Alrighty, folks. Now we'll talk to our 3rd place finisher, that being Dave Payne in that Pinkerton machine. The heartbreak, we'll hear from him. Dave, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett.
Alrighty, Dave. Another heartbreak for you. Another close 2nd place finish. Dave, what was going through your mind in that last green-white checkered?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was too much fun to get mad about. I was thinking honestly, in that last green-white checker, I was like, I think I got this, because I figured it would take a lap or two for Tim to reach me, but I didn't get a very good restart. For some reason, I tried all night. I've been starting in 4th, and on that one I decided to try 3rd to try and get a little bit of a jump on him, and it just didn't work out. So Tim was hanging with me, and then on that last lap, I was trying to, I knew he was going to try and cross over, and then I was trying to like keep it down low. I was trying to pin it as low as I could to kind of block him from getting a run on me, and I just pinned it down just a little bit too low, and it let him get on the outside of me, and there you have it. Lost by 8/100ths of a second. So all in all, though, I think it's super successful night. I accomplished everything I wanted to, and that was beat Tanner in every category.
Yep, Dave, you did. You cut into Tanner's lead with leading some laps, leading the most laps, of course, getting some heat race points. So, Dave, you cut into the lead for Irwindale, and, I mean, looking at bigger picture, what's your game plan going into Irwindale, knowing that it's the championship race and it's comes down to one race left in the season now?
Well, I honestly got to see how the points shake out after tonight. I was hoping Tanner finished worse than what he did, even though he's a buddy, but I was hoping he was more towards the back. My original plan was to come out as much in the lead compared to Tanner as I could, and then then I would be going into Irwindale where Tanner's going to have a huge leg up on me. All I had to do was finish close to him to try and, if I had a few point lead, all I had to do was finish close to Tanner, which I've been able to do all season. I just haven't really been able to beat him, with the exception of a dirt track or when he gets wrecked. So I don't really know. I guess we'll have to wait and see how things shake out. And I'm not entirely sure how this car is going to drive in Irwindale. I've never driven it there before. So I guess we're going to have to come up with that next week, the plan.
Yeah, Dave, that will be a tall order to beat Tanner Tallarico, but all it takes is maybe a little bit of luck, especially to win a championship, and anything could happen. So, Dave, yeah, coming into this dirt race, you won heat race number 1, and you had a great battle with Tim Rogers throughout the night. I mean, you guys were putting on a clinic. How was it in the car?
Nerve-wracking. I don't think I've ever driven as much as I did tonight on a dirt race. Like, I mean, there was a while there I was comfortable, but I seen them like kind of closing in, and we got a couple cautions, and I knew like I was really poor on restarts, so I was just kind of trying to keep an eye on him all night. He was running the top. I ran the bottom a little longer. I think he moved up way earlier than I did, and I just didn't have the cojones to really get it up on the wall where it needed to be quick, where at least it looked like in the mirror that Tim was up there. So I was trying different things. I was trying slider lines. I was trying what I could to try and keep an advantage on him, and it worked all night until the last freaking 4 feet. So, all in all, what a great race with Tim. I gave it 110%, and he bested me. So good win to him.
Yeah, Dave, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I know it's kind of a heartbreak, but heck of a battle. I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 38 crew.
Yeah, and it's not much of a heartbreak. I look to have a lot of fun, and this race was really fun, so I'll consider it a success. But of course, thanks to you in Turn 3 for broadcasting the season with us and sticking with us, all season long. I know we all really appreciate the work you put into it each week, Brett, and I know a lot of league members do as well. So thank you, Andrew, of course, for putting this all on. The whole field tonight for doing a great job with a a sketchy kind of unconventional car track combination. Only a couple cautions is great. And then of course finally my lovely wife Natalie, who continues to put up with me and this silly little hobby.
Alrighty, Dave. Well, like you said, not a heartbreak because of how fun it was, but still searching for that first win. But Dave, we'll let you go celebrate this runner-up finish and let you get ready for the season finale next week. Have a good one, Dave.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks. Now we'll head down to the all-anticipated victory lane, and we'll talk to the driver of the hour, Tim Rogers. Tim, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. I do have a copy.
Oh, man. How you feeling in that car with that move to edge out Dave Payne by half a car length at the start-finish line, Tim?
Man, first I want to shout out Dave Payton, man. He's been racing with him for about 3 years now on iRacing, and he's probably one of the cleanest guys I know on here, just consistently clean and fast, and I just had so much fun racing him tonight. And I had to work for this, man. I had to work for that. That was not handed to me at all. Like, I had to work for that win, and I guess in the words of Noah Gregson, I had my nuts hanging out. I had to lay him on the dash to get by on that last lap. But like I said, yeah, just shout out to Dave. And man, I tell you what, I thought I was going for the crossover move there, coming out of 4, and I didn't realize I think Tanner and Wilderson were underneath me, and I just about got hooked. So I was like, all right, I'll go up top then. And man, I just hit that cushion and let it rip, man. And I saw that opening and went for it. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, Tim, I gotta ask, it seemed like you were going for the crossover, then Wilderson kind of taps you a little bit, and you stay high, and you somehow get one of the biggest runs of the night. I mean, backing it up a little bit further, what was going through your mind for that last green-white checker to try and get the job done like you did here tonight?
Well, coming to that restart, I was thinking slider lines. Slider lines, that's what we're going to have to do to be aggressive and win this thing, because I knew everyone was going to try and pull sliders on me, so, you got to run that line to be defensive. And I think I blacked out. I blacked out. Coming out, the adrenaline was pumping. and I think I came to. I was running the high side in 3 and 4, went for the crossover move on. Well, I think I got in front of Dave, and then he crossed me over, and then going into 3 and 4, I was gonna cross him over again, but that's when that move happened. And man, that cushion just came in last second. Like, that's the reason I got that run. I just hit that cushion coming out of 4 and just sent it.
Yeah, heck of a job by you, Tim. You add yourself to another win in another season for American Sim Racing Club. I believe you have won at least once every season. So, Tim, you keep that streak alive with a win here at Dirt Bristol. So, before we let you go, celebrate down in victory lane, crack open a couple cold ones. I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 48 machine.
Yeah, just I think my 4 wins. I have 4 ASRC wins, and they all came at the. I have 2 at Bristol, 2 at Daga, so I'm a 2-hit wonder, I guess. But I just want to. Oh, sorry, man. I've already been celebrating, but just want to thank Mobile One for coming on last second. What a way to start off the partnership with a win at Dirt Bristol. I mean, can't get better than that. Shades of MILF Plaza, but. Yeah, I just want to thank Andrew, Tanner, Dave, Nick, Brett, all the admins for putting on a good show. I know I don't get to be here a lot. Can't really find the time anymore to race, but man, I had a blast tonight. Just clean racing all around. Just thanks to everyone up front for clean racing. You had Wilderson, Josiah, some of the best dirt racers in the league up there gunning for it, and I was just proud to be amongst the best of the dirt racers.
Yeah, Tim, that was a heck of a job by you. Hopefully, we'll see you a lot for the Dirt Series that will be coming on Sunday nights. But, Tim, thanks again for a great interview. Always a pleasure talking to you. And hopefully, we'll see you once again for the season championship. Tim, you have yourself a great rest of the night.
You too, Brett.
Alrighty, folks. And that will do it for Tim Rogers down in Victory Lane, picking up the win here tonight at Dirt Bristol. So, folks, that will do it for the racing action here at Dirt Bristol. We'll run through tonight's finishing order. Tim Rogers in the 48 machine gets the job done. He'll pick up the win. Second goes to Dave Payne in the 38 machine. Third is Tanner Talarico in the 1. Fourth is Brian Wilderson in the 951. And rounding out the top 5 is Josiah Millen in the 40. Sixth goes to Hayden Swank in the 35. Seventh is Jason Griffith in the 33. 8th is Johnson New in the 86. 9th, Donald Bennett in the 31. 10th is Lee Campbell in the 27 machine. 11th goes to John DeMeester in the 2. Ron Hart in the 51. 12th and 13th goes to Devin McDonald in the 18 machine. So, folks, you heard it here, folks. Here first, as there will be a Dirt Series coming for American Sim Racing Club. It'll be broadcasted by yours truly on Turn 3 Racing Network on Sunday night, so be sure to check that on out. We'll see some more of these dirt drivers show off their talents and some great racing with the pro late models, so be sure to check that on out. Of course, we got to give a shout out to all the live viewers tuning on in here tonight, all the replay viewers, all the drivers out on track, all the fans in the stands, and of course all the admins and everyone here at American Sim Racing Club that can get the job done. I've been Brett the Jet here in the booth. Be sure to check out Turn 3 Racing Network throughout the week as we got some great racing going on with multiple series and multiple commentators. Everyone stay safe, and we will catch you next week for the season finale, race number 4 of the playoffs at Irwindale. Same time, different place, but on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So everyone take care, have a good one. And I'm Brett the Jet, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.